In this video, we're going to be exploring the ruins of the ancient Mayan city, Tikal.
This is crazy. Hi, I am Liz, and this is my husband, Alex. Together, we are spending the next several months traveling around Latin America in order to experience new places while we work on the road and try to improve our Spanish. We started our trip here in Guatemala, where we explored Antigua and saw a volcano erupt lava. Now we are heading to experience the ancient ruins of Tikal way up north in the rainforest of Guatemala.
Okay, this is the entrance of the park.
Hey! Just got to our hotel room in Tikal. We're actually in the national park. We're at the Jungle Lodge, which is the locally owned place, I heard. And yeah, we'll show you guys around a little bit. It's definitely, you can tell we're in the jungle from Antigua. Like, we're sweaty. It is muggy out.
Good morning, everyone. It is about 4 in the morning. We are just about to head out to explore the ruins of Tikal. We're going on a guided tour because you have to in order to go at sunrise.
Alright, we just got out of Temple 4 where we're going to watch the sunrise. We learned some history on some of the other temples in here. Super interesting. We're going to go listen to the sounds. It's the goal before the sunrise. Watch the sunrise. It was really interesting seeing it gradually get louder and louder as like the jungle woke up. I don't know if you could even hear me with that noise. Our mic still isn't working, so you know, but it's cool. I just really love vibes of jungles because there's so much noise, always. By the way, our guide is awesome. The Mayans built this structure and at a certain angle to cause this echo. And it sounds just like the national bird here in Guatemala, which we heard this morning at sunrise.
Do it again.
Okay. Definitely, it seems like the morning's the time to come here because there's like hardly anyone here. It's like our group and that's it. And it's so peaceful. You hear the jungle all around you. I feel like you could probably picture yourself more back in the Mayan times by coming early. So super cool. Definitely exceeded my expectations. We did learn, our guide is super good, and we learned this morning that these stones here represent the different elements. These like platforms here are where the like offerings were done, which is interesting because that seems to be done in a lot of religions, like offerings. We are going to climb our second pyramid of the day. We saw a bunch of spider monkeys, which was super cool. All right, guys, we're heading down. That was a gorgeous view, but now we gotta run because our group left us.
All right, this morning I was picking the guide's brain to get some more information about this so I'd have something to share, because prior to this, I had no knowledge of Mayan culture or really anything about this area, but I learned a few things and it's actually very interesting. So this area, Tikal, used to be a Mayan city. The earliest evidence that they found is that it was started around 600 BC. The last inhabitants left around 900 AD, so it was around for like 1500 years, which is crazy. Only about 8% of Mayan ruins have actually been uncovered. Most of them are still under the forest, out in the jungle. Well, I think we officially lost our guide, so we're gonna head back to the place so we can get some breakfast, and then we're gonna come back. There's still a lot more to explore. All right, after a wonderful, filling breakfast, we are now back in the park, and we're gonna go do some more exploration in the ruins and see what we see. There's a couple of different ways to do Tikal. So one way you can base yourself out of Flores and you can do day trips by bus. But there are actually, I think, 3 places that you can stay at right in Tikal, pretty much, like inside the national park. That's what we're doing. We're staying at the Jungle Lodge, and it's been really nice.
So for us, we were spending like $22 to $25 in Antigua a night, and so here it was like $42 for our place. So it's really not horrible, but definitely a bit more expensive than the rest of Guatemala, but I think it's worth it. The jungle's alive. Okay guys, I'm by myself. Alex could not handle the mosquitoes, so he ran back to the place to see if he can buy some bug spray at the hotel. And I'm gonna meet him at the Grand Plaza. So I'm doing some solo exploration. And behind me, I have a steam bath. Apparently the Mayans used steam baths. So this is super cool. Guys, Alex is back with me, and I'm lying down with a mono monkey, aka monkey, right on top of me. I didn't expect to see this much wildlife at Tikal. I feel like people just mention the temples, but there's like tons of wildlife around them. You get the best of all worlds, right? Animals, jungle, cool sounds, and then architecture. Alright guys, we're gonna go explore the other temples in the area. I have to say, Tikal is so much less crowded than I anticipated for being such like a famous site. I anticipated there being like almost similar to like maybe a little less than Machu Picchu, but there's like, you go through phases and temples where you don't see anyone else. So this is super cool, and it's like the middle of the day now.
There are about 3,000 structures that they've been able to map out here. It's a very large area. So behind me might just look like a jungle, but this is actually temple number 3. As you can see, like there's a bunch of stuff growing out of it. You've got trees and bushes and all sorts of plants and things, but you can definitely see that this is actually a temple known as the Temple of the Jaguar Priest. The guide told us earlier that the leaders of the community used to go to the tops of these temples, and I could definitely see why, because when you get up there, it's just so peaceful. Unfortunately, the audio didn't turn out here, but what I'm saying is that I think this is where they filmed a scene from Star Wars, and that I'm going to attempt to recreate it. Crazy steep staircase. Oh, this one's even worse. Wow, it's like straight down. Look at that.
We just left the Lost World and now we're in the 7 Temple Complex. Oh, so many temples. It's crazy that it feels like there's hardly anybody here. I would expect something this super cool to have just tons of crowds, but it's just not the case. There's just so many temples here. I didn't realize how many temples would be here. We're in Central Acropolis, and it's just cool that they just let you wander around these. Like, you can go through the temples. It's crazy. Dude, this is so cool. This is crazy. Oh, gee, Alexander. Jimmy Cricket.
I was thinking about just how old these structures are. The last Mayans that were living here, they're living in a city that was built 1,500 years before they were even born.
I just can't believe, guys, that there's no one here. It's so crazy. Like, me and Alex were talking earlier, we think we might even like this more than Machu Picchu, which I know sounds crazy probably to some, but like, you have just, you're more to yourself, and it's so, like, you trek through the jungle to get to the different temples.
If you come to Tikal, definitely don't miss the Central Acropolis and the Lost World. That's the other place that I really liked. Definitely see those.
Alright guys, we are headed back to our hotel. Honestly, this was awesome. I feel like I could spend a few days here, like just taking it in over and over again. One thing we noticed is that like most of the tourists seem to be locals, which is really nice to see. It's just nice that people are seeing their own country. I feel like often in certain places, like for example, Machu Picchu, definitely not the case. But mosquitoes are our fears. But we're gonna go back to our lodge and cool off a bit.
We are here in Roatan, Honduras. Stay tuned for our next video where we head to the nearby country of Honduras and experience the spectacular underwater world at a dive resort with unlimited diving.
No, we tried.
No, I know I can do this.
Oh, there's a monkey! Ah, sorry, just get my face. It's so funny seeing a monkey while I'm doing this.
Ow.
Oh, sorry.